Hello, I'm Eric Singer. This is Argonne's Public Affairs Science and Technology Past Fusion Cell Flash Briefing. Recently in the news, story after story, active shooter in a community, causing pain.
So when you hear about an incident of an active shooter within your area, your community, and you're responding to that call, what's going through your mind the entire time is thinking about all of the victims, thinking about the people that are there, thinking about the family members that are not there, worried about their loved ones. You put yourself, as you're getting to the scene, you put yourself in their shoes. And then, of course, you have on the other side the grave concern for your fellow colleagues, the officers responding, knowing what they're facing, the dangers that they're facing with an active shooter.
Detective Alvaro Zabaleta, Public Information Officer for the Miami-Dade Police Department. He talks with me about the crucial and vital flow of information to the public about a critical event. What information officers need to have is a checklist.
Part of the checklist that you need to have is to first and foremost, if the threat still exists, is to be able to have safety as a primary concern and warn people about what is occurring and where, so they don't accidentally walk in or go towards where the area that's considered to be a hot zone. Let's let them know where they are not allowed to be, where they need to stay away from, because it remains a fluid, active scene. So safety is most concern. And then the next thing is, depending on your venue, you have to be able to target what your audience is. You have a university, there's several audiences, but one of my primary audience is going to be the student and faculty. Why? Because they're within the hot zone. So I'm going to utilize our social media and utilize your different channels to disseminate this information in order to get the vital information to the people that are within the hot zone. We have a social media team, and this social media team that we have, we've already created specific messaging so that the messaging is already on cue, per se, and ready to go, because again, depending on the venue, it all depends how you're going to manage the dissemination of information. But we do have these key, readily available messages, so we don't have to create them at the time of stress and at the time the incident is occurring. So all we will have to do then is pick out the prescriptive messages, maybe tweak them just a little bit depending on what's going on at the time, and we then, through social media, keep everyone informed.
Alvaro, it is an ongoing effort.
As your days go by, every day you're thinking outside the box, and before you know it, you can create 2 to 3 messaging per day and just have them logged in. Social media's got them logged in, so when the event, something were to happen of similar nature, you just got to pull those responses. You just got to tweak them a little bit to what you have and then send them out. And that way you're putting information out at half the time.
For some PIOs, it can be an us against them attitude when it comes to the news media. Thoughts?
When you're looking at it as you and the media, you're missing out that vital component, which is the community, which is the people who need to know. And that's where you find yourself getting yourself in a little bit of a jam. If you're looking at it as, I need to feed the media, no, don't look at it that way. Look at it as, I need to feed the community. They need to know. They're wondering what is happening. And that's what keeps you driven, information driven, and to be able to get that as much as possible. And even if you don't have anything at that moment, it is so crucial not to let too much time lapse, because that silence, if you're on the other side of the table, and you're part of that community, and you're not on that scene, or you're not even in that state, and you're wondering because you see that prolonged period of silence, wondering what's going on, that in turn can give you headaches, because it creates some type of panic, and that's how rumors get started. So that constant flow of information, and like I said, that constant flow of information, not to the media, because yes, you're giving it to the media, but you're not feeding the media. You're giving it to your community. And if you think of it that way, you'll never go wrong.
Information also flows from a joint information center to your community and media. A concrete plan ahead of time to have enough people power to fuel it is crucial, isn't it?
So when you're able to get those extra hands, answer those phones, write those notes down, pass them on to you, so that way your fellow public information officers can then get that information, vet it, get the prioritize it, get the messaging out, and use the proper channels to get it out, it becomes really, really important. Because us, as public information officers, we live by getting the right information to the right people at the right time so that the people in the right position, the people that are in the command position, can make the right decision.
Alvaro, we've talked about critical situations, but what's a sunny day best practice that Miami-Dade does that could be used by other information officers?
We have what we call the Week in Review on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook. And the Week in Review is basically, little by little, they start the social media team compiles video of different events and things that are being done. And what they do is they put it all together, and on a Friday, we release out about 2.5 minute video. And it's sort of like a little recap of what the Miami-Dade Police Department did for that week. And we put it out for everybody to see how we're engaging with our community and getting our community involved in a lot of different angles and ways.
Anything you'd like to add?
Everything we do is, and so far we've done in communication, is trying to keep the community involved, keep them educated, keep them informed, let them know that they are also part of us and we're part of them, because together is how we're able to work things out. And when things get a little gray and a little ugly, and for whatever case it may be, they know that they, because of this ongoing relationship, that they have total confidence in their police department.
Thanks, Alvaro. That was Detective Alvaro Zabaleta, Public Information Officer for the Miami-Dade Police Department. If you'd like to hear previous Alexa flash briefings that include best practices, tools, and other written stories like Alvaro's to help your organization, like the Argonne Past Fusion Cell Facebook page, or connect on Twitter and Instagram at Past Fusion Cell. You can also check out the Past Fusion Cell's online toolkit for useful templates and information. Go to pastfusion.gss.anl.gov.